hello, welcome. First of all, just do you want to introduce yourself?
Yep. So my name's Ian Ross. Work for Dankert Real Estate down in Mount Martha and Martha Cove on the peninsula. And I've been in the game for 3.5 years.
3.5 years. All right.
Yeah.
It's a veteran.
Veteran.
All right.
Veteran in
All
age, not in experience.
I don't know about that. All right. So the first question, so to kick this off, is how did you start working as a real estate agent?
So my whole career has been in the car trade. So working in dealerships, finance, sales, management. My last more recent gig was 5 years at Audi in Mornington, which is part of the Zagami Group. But previous to that, the backstory, we bought our house off Sam Dankert, who I work for now, about 16 years ago. So that's how we initially met. And then when I ended up at Audi, we sort of started touching base again, just throughout because he had an Audi. So then I bought an investment property off him. Me and my wife bought one off him. And we sort of then would catch up on a fortnightly basis for a coffee, just to have a chat here and there. And then he decided to launch his own business in Mount Martha. And after a few failed starts with other staff, he just said to me, why wouldn't I do it? And I got to the point of a crossroads, I guess, at the ripe old age of 41. And I thought, well, why not? Now or never. Let's give it a crack. And he was pretty adamant that it would be successful. So 3.5 years ago, took the plunge, and haven't looked back. So yeah.
All right, that's awesome. So you went from selling cars to selling houses.
Correct.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, what's the biggest achievement you've had during your career in real estate?
I think starting from scratch, being at a prestige dealership sort of helped with the target market that I was looking for, which was sort of prestige or higher end sort of properties. I had involvements with the marina down here in Martha Cove prior, like through Audi and with the GM down here. And with previous clients at Audi, that was sort of my foothold into real estate. My first few listings were Audi clients. And another listing was from the marina manager putting me on to another client. So that sort of gave me that. I always had in my head it would take 12 months really to get a foothold, and I think it just fast tracked that for me. And once it sort of started rolling, obviously with listings and selling, it just keeps rolling. So I think going from changing a career at the age of 41 or 42, starting fresh was a bit of a gamble, especially with 2 kids. But I think just taking that plunge, not looking back was the big thing. I think telling myself I can't go back, I don't want to go back was the big thing, rather than saying, well, I've always got the car trade to fall back on. I didn't want to do that. So I always tell everyone it's sink or swim.
Sink or swim. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Tell us about an experience or something funny that happened to you while working as a real estate agent.
I think the one which probably wasn't funny at the time was sending a text to the buyer rather than the vendor about the buyer feedback. Luckily, the buyer at the time, we're actually friends now. We had a laugh about it. But always check who you're sending messages to. And luckily now they've brought in the iPhone. You can retrieve your text messages within a few seconds. But a couple of years ago, you couldn't do that. Always check. And I'm not the only one that's done it, but it can go pear-shaped. But yeah, so luckily that's one that sticks out for me.
More importantly, did you close the deal?
I can't remember. I think we did. Can't remember.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What makes you a successful real estate agent? Tell us your secret.
I think there's no secret. I think, like I said, telling myself that there's no going back. There's no plan B. giving myself, knowing I wouldn't be jumping in, making the money I want to make straight off. But I think not looking at the money side of it, looking more at the process of doing the A and Bs, and the money will follow, I think was the biggest thing. Whereas a lot of agents will just, well, the ones that I've seen around will just list anything anywhere. Whereas I just wanted to have that core market, same with the rest of us in the office, we have our core markets, which are pretty much Mount Martha. And I've got Martha Cove, and sticking to that and not chasing sort of everything and anything, sticking to my core, not chasing the money, but giving the service and working for my vendors and my buyers, doing the right thing, ticking all the boxes, everything else sort of falls in place and follows. And it's more so when I started 2019, we went into that tough market middle of the year with the Banking Royal Commission, where we had a lean sort of 3-4 months. Then we had the bushfires afterwards, but the market sort of picked up. And then March, we went straight into COVID. So it's been, going into it was tough. Then obviously year and a half ago, we had that massive COVID, anyone could sell a house, which was, and I remember saying to my colleagues, like, it's obviously too good to be true. It's, it'll stop. And rightly so, it stops. And now we're back to being real estate agents and doing the right things and, actually working for your commission. So yeah, I think it's just not chasing the money, just sticking to your principles and your A, Bs and Cs. The rest will follow, especially in this tough market.
Awesome. All right. Who is your biggest influencer in your real estate career?
I always get a little bit of everything from, I watch a few, I'm not subscribed, but I watch a bit of Tom Panos on Instagram here and there. You pick up some little things. Probably mainly, I'd have to say the people I work with, like Sam and Alex in the office, two great agents, have been in it a lot longer than me, and two very different people, but I pick up a lot of things from both of them, just the way they operate, the way they negotiate. So you always, as long, and obviously being in the car trade for so long, and negotiation is a big part of that job. You always pick up things. You're never too old to try something new, try a new approach. So really, there hasn't been that one person, but I think definitely Sam and Alex from our office are a big key of that, a big part of that sort of puzzle.
Shout out to Sam and Alex.
Yeah. But years in the car trade, I think negotiating and dealing with so many different types of clients and having different salespeople work for me, and even with having salespeople, you sort of pick up things that they're doing, which that's pretty good. I'll integrate that into my spiel and how I do things. So I think just being open-minded. I never found a huge value in going to seminars, and we used to have a lot of that in the car trade. You'd fly up to Sydney 7:30, 8:30. You're in a room all day and training and inspirational stuff. That never really did much for me because I'd rather be on the tools, and watching other people, listening into other people. You just pick up things and still do. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, why did you decide to do the full license course?
I think in my career, for the next step, buying into the business was one of the motivations, and also having the title of a licensed agent, I think also helps in terms of dealing with clients, especially on the higher end of things. But just a progression in career, and speaking to a couple of other people who've done it, came across Entry Education. Actually, I heard about Entry from 3 different sources, and then just decided to obviously inquire was step 1. And myself and a fellow agent friend of mine, we just decided, yeah, let's do it. And that's how we came across, I guess, you. You came along.
That's how we met. Yeah, that was my goal.
Yes. So, yes, obviously our initial catch up was great because you just outlined everything. It wasn't the easiest course to do, but I think the way it's done, especially being able to do it online, was a big plus for me. Not having to travel into Melbourne or sit somewhere for half a day, so I could fit it into, after hours more so once the kids are in bed. So yeah, it was really well done, which is great. Finally got it.
Yeah, that kind of leads into the next or the last two questions, which is why did you choose Entry Education as your course provider, and how did you find the classroom workshops?
So obviously found it through referrals, but also referrals from people who've done it, who've used Entry. I think it's the bigger thing. Being able to do the initial coursework through Zoom, which was great. And then going on from there and doing it in your own sort of time frame. But also having the resources you guys have, a backup. It was really good. There was always someone available to answer a question or help out if I'm stuck somewhere. So that was a big thing. And just, I guess, your motivational phone calls as to tell me to hurry up. That helps. You've got to have that push because obviously you always put it, in the back burner. But I think that helped as well, just to get it done. I think we did it all before Christmas, a couple of weeks before Christmas, which was good. So yeah, there you go.
I think it was a couple of days before Christmas.
Possibly, but yeah. If I hadn't done it then, it would have been late January, probably even now still doing it. So that was good. It was an easy process, good sort of backup. So that always helps. You're not just emailed stuff and left to it to do it. Like very different to when I did my agents reps online course, which was through REIV, and you pretty much just left on your own to do it, mailing the coursework, get it mailed back with some post-it notes. This is a very different process, much easier.
All right, awesome. Well, that kind of wraps everything up. Just do you have anything else you want to say to an agent getting into the industry or someone already in the industry? Just anything?
I think someone getting in, just have your, work out in your head or on paper. We did I did a 12-month, 2-year, 5-year sort of plan where I wanted to be. But the initial thing is, what you see with agents on Instagram and all the videos, half it's bullshit, excuse the French, but I think, the expensive cars and, the watches and the suits and all that stuff, a lot of it's for show. I think just have your core, ground yourself, have your core market in mind, have a plan, have a goal of where you want to be financially, but don't chase the money from day one. Just do the right things and it'll get there. That's my advice, and that's to a lot of existing agents who right now are probably finding it pretty tough and thinking about career change. A lot of them go into the car trade. I think just ground yourself and take a step back and, do the, what do they say? Cross the T's, dot the I's, and
that's the market. I always say it the other way around. Cross the I's, dot the T.
Well, you can do that, Jack. I mean, that might work for you, but for most people, that will be a fail. But with the good times come the bad times, and the good times will come back. And you just keep looking forward and keep smiling. Yeah.
Awesome.
And when you're crying, just do it in private.
Or smile while you're crying. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for this. Is there anything else you want to say, or that kind of covers everything?
That covers it all. Again, thanks for all your help. Really helped in terms of my next career move. And I guess I'd recommend it to anyone. Just jump on and just get it done. And that's what I just end up doing. Just get it done.
All right.
Don't think about
awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, mate.
I'll let you get back to it. I know you're busy. So I'll let you get back to it. Thanks again.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.